Dramatic clashes in Turkey, where police armed with riot gear and tear gas are taking on anti-government protesters in the heart of that country's capital. ABC's Alex Marquardt is there. And Alex, U.S. officials watching this closely because Turkey is a key U.S. ally that borders Syria, Iraq, and Iran.
That's right, George. This square behind me has been ground zero for these protests, and overnight it resembled something like a war zone, with riot police moving in, firing tear gas and water cannon against these protesters who are unlikely to back down, setting the stage for what could be yet another violent day. Rocks, fireworks, and tear gas flying through the air as protesters clashed with police overnight in the worst violence since these protests started.
They just shoot right into the crowd, and people were basically running, and people were afraid to be run over.
In protests that have now spread across the country, at least 3 people have been killed and thousands wounded. Globally, Turkey is the 6th most visited country by tourists. Over 500,000 Americans visit every year. That could now be in jeopardy with these biggest protests in decades, shaking the leadership of this man, Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan, a crucial American ally. Here on Taksim Square, they say he's increasingly authoritarian and imposing his strict brand of Islam.
He wants to control everything. He doesn't want anything against him.
The Prime Minister says he has the support of the majority of the Turkish population and says he won't tolerate these protests from what he calls vandals and terrorists. So, George, for now, it's hard to see how these protests end peacefully.